What happens when an entire nation ships a couple harder than the contestants themselves? When fans create a hashtag before the relationship even exists? When America literally manifests two people into falling for each other? That's the Nic Olandria story. Nic and Olandria from Love Island USA Season 7 gave us the slowest of slow burns, the most chaotic path to love, and honestly, one of the most unexpected endings this dating show has ever seen. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Getting together was only half the battle. What came after the villa is where things got really interesting. And trust me, you're not ready for how deep this goes. If you're not already part of the Nic Olandria Nation, hit that subscribe button right now because we're about to dive into every single moment that made this couple the most talked about pair to come out of reality TV this year. Seriously, click it. Your algorithm will thank you later. Plus, you'll get all the tea on Love Island drama, Nic and Olandria updates, and everything happening with your favorite Islanders. Now let's get into it.
Let's rewind to day 1. Picture this. Olandria walks into the Love Island villa, sees Nic standing there, and decides she's going in for a kiss during their very first coupling. Bold move. Confident. The kind of energy that makes people sit up and pay attention. But here's what makes it even crazier. During one of those early challenges where contestants pick each other blindfolded, Nic secretly chooses Olandria. He knows it's her. He's sure of it, but he doesn't tell her. Not for weeks. He keeps that little secret to himself while they both go off pursuing completely different people. Olandria starts her slow burn with Taylor. And when I say slow burn, I mean glacial pace. They're coupled up, they're vibing, but there's no urgency, no heat. It's comfortable, safe, but missing that spark everyone watching can see. Meanwhile, Nic bounces between connections. First, there's ballet, but that fizzles fast. Then, Sierra enters the picture, and suddenly Nic's got a real connection brewing. They're laughing, they're physical, they're building something. But every single challenge, every game, every group activity, fans notice something wild. Nic and Olandria keep gravitating toward each other. It's magnetic, unconscious, like their bodies know something their brands haven't figured out yet.
The hashtag starts trending before the relationship even exists. Nic Olandria becomes a thing while they're both in separate couples. Fans are making edits, writing comments, begging producers to make it happen. Even Ariana Madix, the host, starts shipping them. Nic's own family is commenting from the outside world, dropping hints that they see what's happening. Everyone sees it except the two people living it. And that's what made it so frustrating and so addictive to watch. You're sitting there screaming at your screen knowing these two belong together, while they're off doing their own thing completely oblivious. But Casa Amore changed everything. And I mean everything.
Casa Amore is where Love Island tests couples by separating them and bringing in a whole new batch of bombshells designed to turn heads. Taylor's head turns faster than anyone expected. He's with Clark now, moving quicker in 2 days than he did in 3 weeks with Olandria. The man is smitten. Olandria, watching from the main villa, can see her connection crumbling in real time. Meanwhile, Nic and Sierra are growing even closer. They're in a good place. It feels real. But here's the thing about Nic. He won't close himself off completely. He keeps one foot out the door, and production notices. They take the leap. They agree to couple up. And instead of walking back into the villa during the day and making a grand entrance, they sneak back in while everyone's sleeping. The next morning, Islanders wake up to find Nikhil and Olandria in bed together like nothing ever happened. The shock, the confusion, the absolute chaos. And then it happens. The moment fans had been manifesting for weeks. The soul ties kiss. The one where you can feel the chemistry through the screen. The one that makes you believe in reality TV romance again, even though you know better. But just when you think the story's about to become a fairy tale, reality comes crashing back in. They friend-zone each other. After all that build-up, all that tension, all those fan theories and manifestations, Nic and Olandria decide to just be friends. They go back to their original connections like nothing happened. Olandria tries to reconnect with Taylor, but that ship has sailed. He's all in with Clark. Nic and Sierra become the first exclusive couple in the villa. They're locked in. Official. Everyone thinks that's it.
The Nicolandria dream is dead. Fans are devastated. Comment sections are in mourning. The edits stop. The hashtag goes quiet. Then, controversy strikes out of nowhere. Sierra exits the villa due to resurfaced social media posts from her past. The details don't matter for this story, but what matters is the aftermath. Nic is left completely devastated. He's single. He's hurt. He's 1 week away from the finale, and the person he chose just walked out the door. The villa feels heavy. You can see it in his face. This isn't how anyone wanted things to go.
But here's where the universe starts doing its thing. With Sierra gone and Taylor fully committed to Clark, the path finally clears for what fans wanted all along. No more obstacles, no more other connections. Just Nic and Olandria, both single, both vulnerable, both finally in the right place at the right time. And that's exactly when everything shifts. The final week of Love Island USA Season 7 was pure chaos in the best way possible. Nic and Olandria finally couple up for real, not as a production twist, not as a backup plan, but because they genuinely want to explore what's been simmering between them since day one. And the villa transforms. You can feel the energy change. They're laughing harder, touching more, looking at each other differently. It's not forced. It's not fake. It's just finally happening. Their finale speeches destroyed everyone watching. Nic stands up there and talks about how Olandria makes him feel seen in ways he's never experienced, how she challenges him and supports him at the same time, how he didn't know he was looking for her until she was standing right in front of him. Olandria tears up, talking about how Nic showed her what it means to be chosen consistently, not just in big moments, but in all the small ones that matter. People are crying. Islanders are crying. Even the crew is probably crying behind the cameras.
They come in second place. Amaya and Brian win the whole thing, take home the cash prize, and honestly, good for them. But Nic and Olandria win something bigger. They win America's hearts. The votes pour in, the support is overwhelming, and in that moment, Nicolandria Nation transforms from a fan fantasy into a real movement. People aren't just shipping them anymore. They're invested, they're protective, they're all in. The couple leaves the villa with no official label, no promises about the future, just a commitment to see where things go. And that's when the real story begins.
Yo, real quick, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Nic Olandria, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We post Love Island content, dating show breakdowns, and all the updates on your favorite reality TV couples. Plus, clicking subscribe makes you officially part of Nic Olandria Nation. Do it. You know you want to. Okay, back to the story. Life after the villa is where most Love Island couples crash and burn. The pressure is insane. Fans want updates constantly. Brands want couple content. Everyone has an opinion about what they should do, where they should go, whether they're moving too fast or too slow. And for Nic and Olandria, that pressure came with an extra layer. People weren't just asking if they were official. They wanted them pregnant, married, moved in together. The reunion episode hadn't even aired yet, and fans were already planning their wedding. But here's what makes them different. They refused to rush. No labels yet. No official boyfriend-girlfriend title. Just two people taking their time to figure out if what they felt in the villa translates to real life. And honestly, that's the smartest thing they could have done. Because while other couples were posting couple content every day and then breaking up 2 months later, Nic and Olandria were building something real, away from the cameras. The Greece trip changed everything. Olandria had been dreaming about traveling to Europe her whole life. She talked about it in the villa, mentioned it in interviews, posted about it on social media, and Nic paid attention. He listened, and then he made it happen. The vacation, as fans called it, wasn't just a vacation. It was Nic showing Olandria that he remembered what mattered to her, that her dreams were his priority, that he was serious about building a life together, even without the labels. They posted content from Greece that had fans losing their minds: sunsets, beaches, culture. The two of them exploring together, laughing together, existing together in a way that felt effortless. And it wasn't just Greece. Nic started checking off Olandria's entire bucket list. Disneyland. She'd never been. He took her. Experiences she'd mentioned in passing, he made them happen. This wasn't performative. This was consistency. The kind of support that builds real relationships.
Olandria started calling it her soft girl era. After years of being independent, handling everything herself, never relying on anyone, she finally felt safe enough to let someone else take care of her. And Nic embraced that role completely. He's not trying to change her or dim her independence. He's just showing up, consistently, in ways that let her know she doesn't have to do everything alone anymore. The brand deals started rolling in. Kaladi Kinis wanted them for a campaign. Sweet Greens did a collab that became legendary in Nic Olandria Nation because of that ridiculous hat Nic wore. They're building a content creator life together, showing up for each other's opportunities, supporting each other's individual growth, while also growing as a unit. And through it all, still no official label. Just two people proving that relationships don't need titles to be real. But the Spurs game? That's when everyone realized this thing was serious.
November 2024. Amazon Prime and the NBA decide to invite Nic Olandria to a San Antonio Spurs game during the NBA Cup. Not just any game, a marquee matchup against the Warriors. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Wemby, the whole spectacle. And they don't just give Nic and Olandria regular tickets, they give them the full VIP treatment. Custom jerseys with Nic Olandria on the back, access to the players' tunnel, behind-the-scenes content opportunities, and the Jumbotron moment that had social media going crazy.
Olandria drives 3 hours from Houston to San Antonio. That detail matters because it shows she's willing to put in the effort, literally going the distance. They arrive with all of Nic's Greek Fest boys, Max, Quan, Ethan, the crew that's been with him since the beginning. And here's what's beautiful about it. Olandria isn't just tagging along. She's fully integrated into his friend group. She's one of the boys now. They joke with her. She roasts them back. Max has literally appointed himself her personal protector, and fans joke that he's their son. Backstage at the arena, there's a buffet set up for VIP guests. Nic's filming content for his Snap, admiring the chicken noodle soup like it's the most fascinating thing he's ever seen. Olandria walks up, gets right in front of him, and says, "What about this chocolate?" The internet exploded. That confidence, that energy, that's the Olandria everyone fell in love with on Love Island. And Nic, the man just grins, ear to ear, completely smitten. You can see it in his face. He's exactly where he wants to be.
After the game, they all pile into Olandria's car. Picture this: 5 grown adults crammed into a sedan like sardines. Max, Quan, and Ethan folded up in the back seat. Nic in the passenger seat. Olandria driving. They're headed to Nic's next club appearance, and the vibe is pure chaos. But it's also incredibly domestic. It's the kind of thing you do in your 20s with your friends. The kind of memory that matters more than any fancy date or expensive dinner. And Olandria is right there in the middle of it, not as the girlfriend who's tolerating his friends, but as someone who genuinely enjoys being part of the crew. The club appearance that night gave everyone Club Olandria. She's feeling the drinks, dancing all up on Nic, and he's smiling like he just won the lottery. Because in that moment, surrounded by friends, music bumping, beautiful woman he cares about backing it up on him, he's living his best life. No cameras except the ones they choose to film with. No production manipulating moments, just real connection.
The next morning, they're at the airport. Olandria's dropping Nic off, and they stop for breakfast sandwiches. Nic orders Nashville hot, and Olandria immediately goes on her Snap like, I don't know why he did that to himself. Nic, with the most unsure face, tries to act confident. I can handle it. Spoiler alert, he cannot handle it. It's such a small moment, but it's those small moments that reveal everything. She knows him. She knows he's about to regret that decision. And she's documenting it with the kind of affection that comes from genuine care. In the car, YB is playing in the background. Olandria challenges Nic to rap along. He admits he doesn't know this particular song, but then he breaks out into Watt of Hundreds and she loses it. "I'll take that," she says. What dude doesn't know that one, right? They're comfortable, playful, real, and you can see them getting further and further away from caring what makes its way to the internet. They're not trying to protect every single moment anymore. They're just living. But this is just one weekend, one event. What about everything else happening in their lives?
Separate events don't mean separate lives. That's something Nicolandria Nation had to learn. Olandria goes to a Sabrina Carpenter concert and runs into Hannah in the VIP section. Hannah Banana, as fans call her, is one of those post-Villa friendships that actually lasted. She adores Olandria, always in her comments, always supporting. And at that concert, you can see the genuine friendship between them. No jealousy, no competition, just women supporting women. Nic heads home to Jacksonville for a Jaguars game. He brings his Jacksonville homies, gives them the full experience, shares every opportunity he can. That's who Nic is at his core. He wants everyone around him to win. His snap shows him at home going through Greek Fest merchandise, wearing a Pikachu hat, finding his old FAU student ID, just regular life stuff. But fans eat it up because it's authentic. Olandria's Villa friendships are thriving too. Iris, Hannah, Bella, they all still show massive love publicly. At the Aqua di Fur Halloween party, Olandria saw Bella for the first time since leaving the villa, and you could see how excited she was. These women don't have to stay friends. Most reality TV friendships dissolve the second cameras stop rolling. But Olandria maintained those connections because she's genuinely a girl. Nobody from that villa has anything negative to say about her. Everyone roots for her success. That tells you everything about the kind of person she is. And through all of it, the separate appearances, the individual brand deals, the personal time with friends, Nic and Olandria stay connected. They're not codependent. They're not attached at the hip. They're two whole people building individual lives while also building something together. And that's the kind of foundation that actually lasts.
So, what makes Nic Olandria different from every other Love Island couple that came before them? Why are fans so invested? Why does this relationship feel different? It started as fan fiction and became reality. That's part of it. People manifested this relationship into existence. They saw the potential before Nic and Olandria did. They created the hashtag, made the edits, wrote the comments, and refused to let the dream die even when it seemed impossible. There's ownership in that. Fans feel like they're part of the story because, in a weird way, they are. But it's more than that. This relationship sparked conversations about what supportive partnerships actually look like. Nic doesn't try to control Olandria or change her. He supports her independence while also showing up consistently. Olandria doesn't lose herself in the relationship. She maintains her friendships, pursues her opportunities, lives her own life. They're building something together without sacrificing who they are individually.
They're taking their time despite external pressure. In a world where every reality TV couple rushes to make things official, move in together, get engaged within 6 months, Nic and Olandria are moving at their own pace. No labels yet, no public declarations of forever, just consistent actions that speak louder than any Instagram caption ever could. They're building something real away from cameras. Yeah, they post content. Yeah, they share moments. But the foundation of their relationship is happening in private. The 3-hour drives, the breakfast sandwiches, the quiet moments that don't make it to social media. That's where real relationships are built. Future plans hint at something lasting. They're not just living in the moment, they're making plans, talking about goals, supporting each other's dreams, checking off bucket lists, building a life that extends beyond content creation and brand deals. And fans can feel that. The slow burn was worth the wait. That's the ultimate lesson of Nic Olandria. Sometimes the best things take time. Sometimes the relationship that seems impossible is actually the one that's meant to be. Sometimes you have to go through other connections to appreciate the right one. And sometimes America knows what's up before you do.
From a day-one kiss to a real-world romance. From a fan hashtag to a cultural movement. From friend-zoning each other to building bucket list experiences together. Nic Olandria gave us one of the most unexpected, chaotic, beautiful love stories reality TV has ever produced. America literally manifested this relationship into existence, and somehow, against all odds, it actually worked. They still don't have official labels, but they have consistency, they have support, they have genuine affection and respect for each other. They have separate lives that are choosing to intertwine. They have a foundation built on friendship, attraction, and real compatibility. And honestly, that's better than any title.
The unexpected Love Island love story that won wasn't the one that claimed the cash prize. It was the one that won America's hearts. The one that proved slow burns are worth it. The one that showed you can take your time and still build something real. The one that gave fans exactly what they manifested, while somehow exceeding every expectation. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed, because Nic Olandria Nation is just getting started. We've got more Love Island content coming, more updates on Nic and Olandria, and honestly, if you made it this far, you're already part of the family. Hit that subscribe button. Join the nation. Let's keep manifesting good things for this couple, because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that manifestation actually works. Sometimes the best love stories are the ones you don't see coming. Sometimes they're the ones everyone else sees before you do. And sometimes, just sometimes, reality TV gets it right. Nic Olandria Nation, we'll see you in the next one.